Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retrodome. Today we'll be doing the first of a series of tutorials on how to conduct a solo draft using the APBA Baseball for Windows. I'm using version 5.75. They're currently on release 6.1, I believe. This will also work in earlier versions. If you have an older Windows computer, you can still run 5.5 or earlier. I don't know how far back all of the draft features were available in the program. I only have 5.5 installed on my my Windows XP machine, so not 100% sure how far back you can go to and conduct a draft as I'm going to do, but certainly you can do this in the current program. So at any rate, let's get started. What I've done is I created a copy of my 1984 season disc. 1984 is the first year that I really started following baseball, collecting baseball cards. Attended my first Major League game, at least that I remember. My father tells me that I went maybe in 1979 or 1980, but I don't recall that. So 1984 is the season that I chose to do this tutorial. Obviously, whatever data disks that you have, you can basically do the same thing here. So what I did, I'm not going to do it again, but basically create data disk here, and then you can do, if you're on, you can do export. Basically, you export from one organization to another one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into this organization here, and I'm going to unaffiliate all players, and that will drop all existing roster players from all teams. Yes, I want to do that. And the result of that is, let's see, if I go to jump view players, I have every single player that played in 1984. So there you go. Now we need to do a few things before we begin the draft, right? So let me click out of here. All right, so there's a handful of things here, and actually, if you go right to here, the help screen, there's an excellent help system with APBA, Baseball for Windows, or Broadcast Blast, whatever version you have. Help on setting up the draft, common questions, right? So just click through these. It'll tell you what rules, establishing the draft order, assigning GMs, assigning scouts, begin the draft, so on and so forth, right? So anyway, there's a ton of detail here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we'll kind of just do a quick glance on how you would set this up. So I unaffiliated all the players. Now I want to do assign scouts. Now I'm not going to get into the weeds here, but you can create your own scouts. I'm just using the default for this. And what this means is the computer GM, you're telling it that you want it to look for players based on a certain set of criteria, and you're kind of ranking them in a certain order. You may say you want a certain computer GM to be more focused on defense. Maybe there's a team that wants to be more focused on base stealing. Pitching, do you want to look for strikeout pitchers versus control pitchers, so on and so forth. So again, we're just going to cancel out of this. We're going to take the default for all the teams. Assign GMs. Alright, So I want to assign the default GM to every team except for California, which is the one I'm going to manage. Alright, so I just got to go through and select default. And then I'll show you what, we'll go to edit GMs in a moment here. Alright, so I want to make sure that I'm the only manual team. Everybody else is going to be selected by the computer manager, or the computer GM, I should say. Alright, so that's all of those. Edit GMs. Again, there's what type of strategy do you want them to use? Do you want him to go after the best starting pitcher? Do you want to go after the best overall player? Criteria for plate appearances per games at each position, or innings pitched per games. So, maybe you set one GM to look for starters that only go 6 innings, and maybe relievers that can go longer in games. Basically, that's up to you if you want to dive in and start tweaking those. I'm just selecting the default for this, at least for this tutorial. Alright, so I have my manual, everybody else set to default. I'm going to click OK here. Alright, draft rules. We're going to do a serpentine draft, which is a snake draft, which means if I were to pick first in round 1, then I have to wait all of round 1 and all of round 2 until it comes back to me, which would be pick number 26. So I would pick first in round 1, 26th in round 2, because there's 26 teams here. Again, depends on the number of teams and everything. I'm just explaining the numbers that I'm using here. And what did I say? 26. So you'd pick first, 26th, and then in round 3 you'd pick first. In round 4 you'd pick 26th, and so on. If you do a straight draft, you pick first in round 1, then you'll pick first in round 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Roster limit, maximum roster size, we'll say 40. Number of rounds until all players are drafted. Again, you can set this, maybe you only want to have a 25-man roster or a 35-man or whatever you want to do. So, time limit, this would be if you had multiple humans drafting. You could do this over a remote call, like a Zoom or a WebEx or something like that. You could have everybody in the same room, and then you would have a time limit for, let's say, after 1 minute or maybe 2 minutes at the most. If someone hadn't made a selection, then they would either get the default player or they would pass. I'm going to set no time limit because I'm the only one that's making selections here. Pause between rounds or no pause. I'm going to pause so we can take a look at the draft report at the end of each round, but that's up to you there. And announce auto GM picks. I'm going to leave that turned off. It'll do a pop-up on the screen for every single pick, which I don't need. We can just view the report. So I think we're good here. Hit OK to that. Draft team order. Alright, so this, I'm gonna, let's look at, bear with me a second. I'm gonna pull up just to make things interesting here. Let's go with kind of the reverse order from the standings at the end of the '83 season. Let's see, baseball reference. Alright, just pulling this up on my phone here. So I have the '83 final standings. And then we'll go ahead and plug these in. 1983. Okay. Just to refresh my memory, I'm sure if this was 40 years ago, I could probably reel this off on the top of my head. I could probably use what was it? The 84 Fleer set, I think, goes in that order. So I just have to go backwards, right? I think they did something similar here. All right, so standings. There we go. All right, so let's start off with the. I'm looking at the AL. Let's go to the NL. All right, so the Mets were the worst record in the NL. So we'll do NL East, NL West. So Mets and Reds. You know what? Before I do this, because I ran into an issue with this previously. We'll rename all of these later, but I just want to rename the 4 teams that have the same town name. CHC for Cubs. Chicago. White Sox. And New York Yankees, New York Mets. Okay, and that one. Alright, like I said, I'll go back in and fix this later with as far as the rest of the team names, but for now I just want to get those in there. Alright, so I was in team order. Alright, so I want the Mets up first. I want the Reds second. Okay, let's go over to the AL. Mariners and Indians. Actually, it would be nice if I could see this in exact order, because the Mariners had the worst record in the majors, so I'm going to move them. Can I move them up? No. Of course not. Unassign. Alright, so I want to do Seattle. No, not there. There. Seattle. Then the Mets. Then the Indians. Then the Twins. Alright, Mets. Indians. Oh no, then Cincinnati. What was Cincinnati's record? I'm going to go over to Retro Sheet. Maybe I can see it better there. On Baseball Reference, I got to click back and forth between AL and NL. And of course, there's probably another way to do it, but let's do it this way. No, is that not going to let me? I don't need the play-by-play files. Where is it? Okay, that's not working for me. I'm going to go back to where I was. Okay. Again, I'm getting a little bit too deep into the weeds here. Let's keep this simple. Okay. Seattle, Mets, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Now, next up is going to be, let's see, we've got the Giants with 79, Cubs with 71, Red Sox 78. So, Twins. Twins, Cubs, Red Sox, Giants. Twins, Cubs, Red Sox, Giants. Alright, now 9 through 12. The Brewers had 87 wins. The Angels had 70. Cardinals 79, the Padres 81. Alright, so California. Cardinals, Padres, Brewers. Alright, now we've got Expos 82, Astros 85. Expos 82, Astros 85. Well, Oakland's the next one. So Oakland, Expos, Astros, Toronto with 89. I know this isn't in the exact order, but this is how I'm doing it. And again, this is a tutorial, so doesn't need to be exact here. Texas is going to be next, followed by Texas. Okay, Texas. Then we got the Pirates, Braves, Yankees, and the Royals. Dodgers and Phillies. I forgot how many games did they win each. Alright, so Phillies, Dodgers. Phillies, Dodgers, Detroit, and then Baltimore, White Sox. Okay, cool. Alright, got our team order set up here. Okay. And I do have myself as manual, so initialize new draft. Save changes, yes. Okay. Alright, it's going to pop this up again. We're just going to hit OK. Select the team order, we're good. Hit OK, right? Everything looks good here. Good. And then begin player draft. Alright, let's give this a whirl. Alright, so it's asking me to make my selection. What I don't know is who was taken in front of me, so I go to report, draft, and I see that Raines, Gwynn, Sandberg, Mattingly, Murray, Hernandez, Murphy, and Henderson were taken in front of me. Next up, based on the ratings that APBA provides. Alright, so these are the next. I can scroll down this list. I can see the entire list if I want. I can click into a player if I need to look at them. I know Gooden had an amazing season. So did Big Dave Winfield. So this is a tough call. Ripken. Let's just look at the reports player. There we go. 17 and 9, 218 innings, 276 Ks. I mean, that's awfully hard to pass up. I'm going with Doc Gooden. I'm gonna not get too far into the weeds here. Would you like to pause? Yes. So now let's just look at the first round. Take a quick look here. After Gooden, so Winfield went immediately following him. I don't know if you recall, you can scroll back in the video. I think Mosby was up next. So the computer does randomize the selections a bit. He doesn't just go straight off of the ratings. And then as we get deeper into this, he's going to go based off of need as well, what positions he's looking to fill. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so there we go. First round complete. Alright, let's go resume draft. It's back to me. Now, I don't know who was taken in front of me in this round, so let's take a look. I'm not going to do this every time, but let's look at the draft report now. Alright, oh, Mike Schmidt, Willie Wilson. These are all excellent players here. Sarge was taken right before me here, which leaves me with a choice of Rick Roden, George Bell, Bill Caudle, Johnny Ray, Juan Samuel, the top 5, Mookie Wilson, Fernando's here, and we've got the grades listed, got the defense ratings for the various players here. So that's kind of a tough call again. Roden. Oh. 272, 33 starts, decent stuff. Not too many strikeouts though. I think I want to get a batter here. So here's something where, you know, do I want to gamble? Like, I would like to have Mike Witt as an Angels fan, right? But he's currently ranked 22nd. So by the time my pick comes back around, am I going to be able to get him? And remembering, right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then another, because I'm picking, what am I, 9th? I'm picking 9th. So I've got 8 picks ahead of me, and then, yeah, so I've got 17 players will be selected. Witt is 22nd ranked, but that doesn't mean he won't go. So if I want to take a gamble, let's look at George Bell here. Okay, played almost every game. 39 doubles, 26 homers, 87 ribbies, 292 average. I think he might be my selection here. So we're going to go with George Bell. Start a new round. Would you like to pause? Let's say no. Alright, and it came back around, and guess what? Mike Witt is gone. And I'm a little bit sad. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to look at draft. And where was he taken? Let's see, I took Bell. Oh, just missed him. Look at that. That's going to haunt me. Alright. Anyway, I'll get over it. It's my pick. Jesse Orosco, Willie Upshaw, Leon Durham, Dan Quisenberry, Pedro Guerrero, Oral Hershiser. Difficult choices here. Darryl Strawberry. Look at this. All right. What's Guerrero? 303, but only 16 and 72. I'm not totally thrilled with those numbers. I don't think I want a closer this early. I mean, Strawberry was nearly 30-30. I know he's a little bit further down on this list here, but awfully hard to pass up. And I am not a Mets fan, folks, but we're taking Darryl Strawberry. All right. Would you like to pause? No, I would not. All right, now here's something I can get into here. Doug DeCinces is an angel. But let's see who else is available here. Because that would be a nice 3-4-5 with Bell, Strawberry, and DeCinces. Got Kirby Puckett here. We've got Mario Soto. 82, 269. That's not really thrilling numbers. Dwayne Murphy, I think he had 33 jacks that year. Gonna do this. Because I think if I do that, yeah, then I can pop these open easier. 33 and 88, 256. Julio Franco. Who's Kevin Mack? 2075. Only 3 steals though. Dave Parker. Kirby Puckett before he hit for power. What was Parker? 16 and 94. And Soto was 18 and 7. Might be nice to get him in the rotation there. These are relievers. Soto's a 14 grade. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get 2 solid starters here. We're not going to pause. Alright, now we're coming up on, we're in the 5th round. So if you get somebody like Lance Parrish, he's your full-time catcher, so that could be appealing here. 33 homers, 98 ribbies, 237 batting average, but you deal with that when you get those other numbers, right? There's Lee Smith if we wanted a closer. Steve Carlton, Brian Downing, Gary Gaetti. I think I'm kind of leaning Lance Parrish here, so we're going to do that. I'm not going to pause. We'll just kind of keep this rolling for a little bit, then we'll review the kind of the round by round stuff at the end. I think that's going to be our best bet here. I'm going to open this a little bit more here and do something like that. There we go. All right. Rich Dotson. A lot of walks. Not really stoked about his numbers there. I think I'll go with another hitter, but who do we have? I mean, we're already getting into, you know, these guys really aren't superstars at this point. Kingman had the 35 homer, 118 ribby, 268 average. He's going to fill up the DH slot if we do that. Oh, the Hawk. Mr. Dawson is there. I believe it was an off year for Andre, though. 1786, 248. Yeah, not great. All right. Let's go with I am not a fan, but Kingman is on the team. All right, so now who do we got for round 7? Candelaria, Beatty, the press. The Ryan Express. Would you like to pause? No. Alright, so my rotation's pretty stacked here. I think we're going to focus on offense primarily. We would like to get a closer at some point. So, all right. What do we need? We need an entire infield, and we need a center fielder. And from our options here, we're already looking at a number of guys who are kind of part-timers here, I would say. Okay, we're getting into the weeds there. I see Gritch down there. Maybe we'll go for him next round. And for this round, what did Reedus do that year? Yeah, he was not a full-timer. Didn't think so. Templeton, he didn't do much of anything. Phil Garner, not a full-timer. Yeah, we're already getting into the platoon ranks here. Chris Chambliss. Billy Sample. Okay, well, I'm not overly impressed with any of these guys, so let's just scroll down a little bit further here, see what else we got. Honestly, nothing looking too appealing. Old Billy Buckner, 272, 11 and 69. Not really thrilled with that. Mel Hall, he's really not a center fielder. Deion James, not a full-timer, but you could maybe platoon him. But he had 10 steals, 10 caught. That's not interesting to me. Rafael Ramirez, not so hot there. Gary Pettis, no offense. Raleigh Fingers, only 33 games. Alright, I'm getting hung up on the details here. How about Rick Honeycutt? He's got some decent numbers. Let's do that. Rick Honeycutt. Alright. We're back to round number 9 here. Desperately in need of some offense. Vance Law, 1759, 252 average. Was going to get Gritch. I don't want to wait too long. 18 and 58. Yes, he does miss some time here, but we're going to go with Bobby Gritch there. Okay, round number 10. We don't have a closer yet. We are missing quite a bit of our infield still. I want to get Rod Carew at some point. I know he's a part-timer here. How far down is he? Oh, I can do find player somewhere. There was a find player. There it is. He is rank 154 and a rating of 90, so I should still have some time to get my favorite player. Unfortunately, this is the tail end of his career, but oh, Phil Bradley. 301 average, 21 steals. Okay, that's an option for our outfield situation. Scotty Fletcher, 456, 335, and 10. I mean, we're just running out of guys here. So, Brooke Jacoby, 264, 7, and 40. So we may have leaned a little bit too heavy on pitching and stuck ourselves with some guys. Oh, how about Cedeno? 380. He's pretty good when he plays. Maybe we do a platoon out in center there with Cedeno and somebody. Tony Phillips. Tony can play everywhere, pretty much. Oh, got the old blue circle here. I'll have to wait for this to come back. Probably have too many things open on my laptop here. Apologize for the delay. There we go. 266. This is before he became an on-base machine, but 154 games played is nice. Second and short. We're going to Tony Phillips it here. And, or should we hope that Cedeno's still there? I think we're going to Phillips it and keep our fingers crossed. There. Alright. Oh, Cedeno is still there. Look at that. Bingo. So was Dan Gladden. Dan Gladden had some awesome numbers in part-time play here. And I doubt he's going to be around, but we've got a left fielder already, so Cedeno, I think, is our guy. Just looking at who's left here. Alright, Cedeno it is. Added to the team. Okay, we're in round number 12, I believe. I've got 4 starters. I have no bullpen. I have no third baseman. And I have no first baseman because Kingman's our DH. So we're going to try to get Carew and somebody to platoon with him. Maybe Barbaro Garbe or somebody. Oh, there's Darrell Evans. He could play some third. That's an option there, definitely. I'm leaning in that direction here. Little Joe Morgan, he could platoon with Grich. Yeah, Darrell Evans it is. He's going to be part of our third base platoon. Alright, we're getting closer to Carew here, but what did I say? He's a 90. There he is. Okay, still got a little bit of time there. Don't want to screw that up. Would be nice to get a closer at this point. Are there any decent ones left? I don't know. Ron Davis doesn't look like he is an option. We could go with a decent reliever that's not technically a closer. Yeah, so we're already looking at like Don Ossie and some of these guys here. Gary Lucas, Tim Stoddard. All right, I don't think we're going to have a real closer. Oh, Oh, there's Roger Clemens down here, the grade 6. Alright, maybe we wait until next round on him because he's ranked 45th. That was his rookie year. I think he had 21 starts, something like that. Alright, these guys here with decent grades, I bet don't have a ton of games. Yeah, 31 games. Solano, Scurry had 43 games, only 4 saves. And Ron Davis, yeah, high ERA. Not really a great option at closer. Bernazard, I think he had awful numbers that year. But now I do need somebody to platoon with Cedeno. What was Bumbry's numbers here? 270. Not bad. Not great. Not bad. Kittle 84. Well, we don't need another slugger. We already have Kingman. And we've got Bell, Parrish, got Evans, Strawberry. We got plenty of slug. I was looking at Joe Morgan to help out at second. So that's an option. Alright, I think I'm liking, I think I'm going to go with Bumbry to help out in the outfield. Alright, got that. And then what did I say? We should still be good on Carew here. Yes. We want to get him soon, but I think we can go another round. Mike Stanton, 54 games, 61 innings, 8 saves. That might be an option there. Dedman, 54 games, 81 innings. That's pretty good, actually. He only had like 20 games. Yeah, 23 games. Warren Brewstar. Ken Griffey Sr. still out here. Gary Lucas, 55 games, 53 innings. Alright, let's go with what did we say? Was it Dedman who had a lot of innings? Yeah, I like that. 81 innings. Jeff Dedman. Maybe Mike Stanton too if he's still there. But yeah, he is still there. Okay, Carew is still there. Alright, gonna cross our fingers here. We're gonna get Stanton, so we've got a little more bullpen help. And then fingers crossed, we get Carew. Okay. And I'm not taking any more chances because I want Rod Carew on my team. There we go. Would you like to pause? No, I would not. Alright, so we've got a pretty fair offense. I would say a pretty good pitching staff. We need a number 5. We need to fill out our bullpen. We need some platoon guys at first. Second, third, and short. All right. Brewstar might be a candidate there. What was Gorman? 36 games, 57 innings. Don Ossie he could be our closer. He only has 23 games though. I think we're not going to do that. Oh, there's Garbe. That answers our first base platoon. We're going to do that. So there's Carew and Garbe at first. All right, we lost out on some of those relievers, it looks like, finally. Barojas. Okay. Mark Clear. 70 walks. Can't do that. Just can't do that. Dennis Lamp. He had 9 saves. ERA's a bit high, though. Only a 5 grade. We're going to skip him. Underwood, 37 games, 71 innings. That's an option. Greg Harris, 34 and 54. He's decent. He does have some control issues, though. Niedenfuhr, 33 and 11. Oh, there we go. He's a potential closer. Let's just scroll down the list a little bit further. Cecilio Guante. See, now we're getting into guys that only have like 20 some odd games. Juan Agosto, 49 and 55 innings, and has got some control issues. So who are we looking at? Niedenfuhr. Tom Niedenfuhr. Okay. So if you're questioning why I took any particular players, I didn't do any draft prep for this. I'm just kind of winging it here. So your selections may well be different than mine, but and again, this is all going to be dependent on if you did a straight or serpentine, if you did what pick you had. So. Alright, now we need, what do I need? Second, I did not end up going with Joe Morgan, so I do need a left-handed or a switch-hitting second baseman. Or another right-handed one, and I can bat Grich against righties and another right-handed second baseman against lefties. Let's even see if there's any, if I waited too long, if there's any infielders even available by this point. What are we, round 18, round 19 now? So I might have shot myself in the proverbial foot here. Todd Cruz, Art Howe. This isn't looking too good here. Art Howe, 216. This is looking a bit rough. And there might be some of these guys with a multi-positional, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to scramble here. Brad Wellman, I mean, okay, here we go. Paliarulo, who do we have at third? We already have a lefty there. We have Evans. Because Pags would have worked out. Larry Milbourne, 265. Not much of anything there. Pags, 448 slug. I might just do that and worry about the platoon stuff later. Okay, Jim Presley. I'm just concerned if I wait much longer, I'm really going to be stuck here. Yeah, Alan Bannister, 280. Not a ton of at-bats, but he plays some second base. So he could platoon with Grich, at least. Royster, 207, not interested. Sakata, 191, not interested. I may not have a choice later, but yeah, I mean, this is bad. Bob Baylor. Richie Hebner. I mean, now we're getting into guys that don't even have 100 at-bats, I'm sure. So, all right. Now we got to make some tough choices, right? So, despite his left-handedness, I think I'm going to go with Palirulo. And then I'm going to find another infielder here. Help me out with, hopefully Bannister's still there. Oh, Davy Lopes. He plays some second base? Yes, he can. Davy Lopes it is. Didn't see him there earlier because he's outfield qualified. And Bill Allman. He's mostly outfield first base, so we're going to skip that and do Lopes. So we got Grich and Lopes at second. Now I need a shortstop. Who's qualified at shortstop? Alright, it's not these guys so far. And again, we're going for need here more than anything. We're going to have to get a fifth starter who's probably not so hot. And then fill in the rest of the gaps in our relief staff. So, there we got some part-timers. Jack Clark, but I can't get him now. Milbourne, does he play any short? 5 games, eh. They're going to have to platoon somebody with Tony Phillips here. Milbourne's kind of an option, kind of not really. I might try to grab Jim Presley if he's still available next round. Okay, Louis Aguayo can play short, 10 games. It's not much. 72 at-bats, not much. Bob Baylor, did we look at him earlier? Yeah, and he qualifies. He's a shortstop. Bob Baylor, there we go. He's going to platoon with Tony Phillips. We've almost filled out our batting there. We're just going to have to get a backup catcher. You can see Parrish here, 147 games, so and 127 at catcher, so we don't need a lot. We just need kind of a warm body there to fill in. All right, relief-wise or starter-wise, what do we got left? Tug McGraw, 25 games. Pete Falcone, kind of got 16 starts. He's not great, but this is what's out here right now. So Joe Sambito, 32 and 47. I'm just curious what, I mean, Sambito looks like the best relief option here. Mike Armstrong, 54 innings. That might be a better plan. Starting pitcher-wise, after Falcone, what do we have? Bob Gibson. It's looking a little bit sketchy here. Ralph Citarella. I mean, Bobby Castillo. What did he have? Like 10 games, probably. Yeah. Alright, I think we've got to Pete Falcone it just so we have another starting pitcher. And then we'll try to plug our relief gaps and get a backup catcher. What do we have in the catching department here? that I am curious. We might wind up with like a Matt Sinatro guy or somebody with a handful of games, or potentially like a Charlie Moore if he's still out there. Primarily outfield, but a little bit of catching experience. I don't see him yet. So far, no catchers. Oh, there's Charlie Moore. He had 7 games at catcher. That's a choice. I don't know if that's my choice, but he's there, so he's number 66 on the list. If I need to go back, take a quick look, see who else we got here. Oh, John Russell and Brian Harper. John Russell has 2 games at catcher, and he hit 283, so that might be a nice to have. Brian Harper, 2 games, 259 average. Johnny Rabb, sorry. John Rabb. Joe Nolan, 290, 6 games at catcher. I mean, at this point, I think I'm just going to do Charlie Moore. Where did I say he was? In here. There he is. Charlie Moore it is. Alright, then we'll try to grab one of those other guys if they're still there. Alright, maybe get another decent reliever if we can here. Mike Armstrong I liked. Bam, you're there. Alright, another decent reliever. Bert Roberge, 40 innings. Oh, Odell Jones, 59 innings. Grade 9. Joe Carter still doing out here. Be a nice backup outfielder. Joe Carter. Okay. Alright, lost out on Odell Jones, but I can deal with that. Bert Roberge. Do we have a lefty in the bullpen? We do not. Forster, 25 games, 270. Jimmy Key didn't pitch well in his rookie year. Yeah, although he did have 63 games and 10 saves. So that's a thought there. At least he'll eat some innings and get in a lot of games, but yeah, these guys are pretty minimal in the terms of games and innings at this point, I would say. Bob Lacey, 51 innings, 388, not awful. It's only a grade 6 though. Tobik. He is not good. Grade 3. Len Whitehouse. Decent. Bergmeyer, just probably not enough games. Yeah, 17 games. Jeff Calhoun, 9 games. Okay. Not going to move the needle much with that. Castillo, 2 games. So my only concern is we've only got 16 starts out of Falcone, so who else is going to pick up any starts for us here? There's not too much out here. Roger Mason, 2 starts. Freddie Tolliver, 1 start. Yeah. Frank Wills. Yeah, none of this is great. Okay, well, 51 innings, and what did he have? 42 innings. We're going to go with, he only had like 25 innings. All right, Topic. Oh, these guys are still here. Jimmy Key in his 60 some odd innings, we're going to get him. Bob Lacey will take. I mean, alright, I am curious to see if John Russell is still out here. I might have waited too long there. And I'm going to say that's a no. I waited too long on John Russell. Alright. Charlie Mitchell, 10 games, 16 innings. Got a great grade. Bobby Castillo. Sure. Luis Aponte, 50 innings. Larry Pashnik. Bob Gibson has some starts, doesn't he? Yes, he does. They're not great, but they're starts. We'll take it. Who else you got here? Are there any more batters that I should even consider? Let's scroll down. A ton of pitchers. Disco Dan Ford is the first batter. 231, 1 homer, 5 ribbies. Sorry, not interested. Sid Bream. Nope. Billy Hatcher. 9 at-bats. No. Scott Bradley. Oh, he can catch. And he hit 286. So, nice little third catcher here. Grab him. Alright. Len Whitehouse, he pitched well in 30 some odd innings. We'll take him. Let's see, what do we got? Not much. 30, around 34. Okay. Gereltz, was he did have 3 starts. He did not pitch well that year. Roger Mason, maybe. Freddie T. 3 games only. I don't even know if there's anybody else that started a game down at this low here. Roger Mason. Let's Charlie Mitchell it. Charlie Mitchell it is. And yeah, we're really scrounging at this point. 4 games, 5 games, 1 game, 3 innings. Wow. 9 games, 18 innings. I might go with Jim Wynn. Snell. Ray Krozig. Okay. Larry White. 7, 12, sure. Okay. Gotta be running out of players here. There's 8 players left. Who's the best one? Jack O'Connor with a grade 10. Take him. Save the results. Yes. Almost clicked no on that. Oops. Alright, so don't have to save the data disk. Draft is complete. Let's take a look here at the results. Alright, so again, until I start to set the lineups and rotations here, it's going to be hard to kind of really judge who has a great team and who doesn't, but we're going to go ahead and do that in a different video using League Manager. This video I'm going to keep to just the advanced draft. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. I'm not going to read all these names off. I'll just leave the screen up and I'll scroll down a bit. So there's round 1. I got Doc Gooden. You can see who everybody else got. Round 2, I got George Bell with the 44th overall pick. Again, a lot of very excellent to very good players selected in that round. Round 3, I picked Darryl Strawberry. He was ranked a little bit lower, but he's got the 20, I think it was 27 homers, 29 stolen bases. Very difficult to pass that up at that juncture. I was looking at guys, like Hershiser, Saberhagen. They had they worked in relief quite a bit in their rookie seasons, so it was kind of difficult to plug guys like that into your rotation. So, not that it can't be done, but then you have to sub in. They're not going to make 30 some odd starts for you, most likely. So, who did we go with here? Soto. Definitely could have gone with Necro, Seaver, some other guys there. Went with Lance Parrish as my catcher here in round 5. Here we go, round 6. Still a lot of all-star type players being selected here. Not all of them, but still a lot of very good players here. Not thrilled with Kingman, but he'll pop his 35 homers, and he did knock in 118. I know RBIs are kind of dependent on the runners who are in front of you, but I think he also hit 268 in 84. So again, not stoked, but yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. Nolan Ryan, definitely surprised to get him in round number 7. Was it his best year? No, obviously not, but really solid numbers. Um, could have gone Saberhagen there, but I'm okay with the choice of Nolan here. We'll see how Honeycutt does. I was starting to see a lot of platoon hitters in that scenario, and maybe I should have grabbed one of them, but uh, I looked at like Rafael Ramirez, Gary Templeton, wasn't really moving the needle at shortstop for me, so then we went with Bobby Grich at second. Um, round number 10, Tony Phillips here. Not much offense, but he does. He can play multiple positions, so that's good. Cesar Cedeno here, round 11. Still decent players being selected here. Bobby Ojeda, Bob Welch, Oil Can Boyd. Definitely some good pitching still available. A lot of these hitters were, in the 400 plate appearance range, though, so it's kind of difficult to justify selecting them when there were still other good options available. Let's go here. Darrell Evans. Maybe Gubaza would have been a choice. Maybe if I had scrolled down a bit, I would have seen that George Brett was still out there, so that was my mistake. Again, if I was doing this, I wouldn't say I did a speed run here, obviously, but I think I would definitely would have taken a little bit more time and probably have seen that Brett was still out there. So I don't know why I did that. I passed up Clemens for Al Bumbry, so that could be a big mistake here. We'll see how that plays out for me. I don't recall why I did that. I let Joe Morgan go, I remember that. Jeff Dedman, not really thrilled with that, but we had no relief at that point, so Mike Stanton, the right-handed reliever, not the lefty that pitched for the Braves and the Yankees. Scrolling down a bit further, I picked up Carew here in round 16. Yes, I know that he missed a lot of time in '84, but he was still a .295 hitter, and I paired him with Barbaro Garbe, so they should both hit upwards at .290 for me, I would hope. Tom Niedenfuhr got a part-time closer at least. Paliarulo, he can platoon at third with Darrell Evans. I don't know. We'll see how the lineup shakes out when I'm done here. Davey Lopes going to help out at second with Grich. Similar with Bob Baylor at shortstop. And again, you can see that there's still decent players being selected all down the list here. Tom Browning, Hal McRae here. Again, part-timer, but all right, here's where we Pete Falcone because we didn't really have much options for fifth starter at that point. Charlie Moore, he's going to be our backup catcher. And round 24, here we start getting into the relief guys. So I'll just do each of these. Pause briefly. You can pause the video if you want to look at the selections here. There's Jimmy Key. Yeah, just went with more relief here. A couple starter relievers. Third catcher just in case with Scott Bradley. There's Len Whitehouse, Charlie Mitchell, Larry White, Jack O'Connor. All right, that will do it for us here. So please check out the companion videos. I'm going to have a league manager video where I'll show you lineup creation, rotation selection, creating the schedule. We'll simulate a season, stopping at the end of each month to review the standings. And then we'll do a third video using the StatMaster program to show the final standings, league leaders, team batting, pitching, fielding, so forth, all the reporting. So we're going to wrap this one up here. Thanks again for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon.